So I went to Cosmo School, finished school, and then when I took the test, I flunked it. I flunked the test. By the second time, I flunked it. By the third time, I always flunked it by like 1 to 2 points. And so by the fourth time I flunked it, he gave it to me. I just took it and balled it up and just threw it. So it was a point where I was like, man, maybe it's not gonna work for me. Maybe it's not gonna happen for me. And I was like, I was thinking about going into mortuary science or something. And I was thinking of another plan C, plan D. And so, but something in me just said, keep going. And so eventually I went and I passed it on the seventh time. But the thing about it is that particular year, I only worked on one show. It was a BET movie that year. And when I went to that show, I was getting paid $50 a day. And the lady that hired me, I had clients still hitting me up like to come cut their hair. So I would ask her when I got done, can I leave you to go to the shop? She said, listen, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? I said, I want to do this. She said, well, sit your ass down.
Okay.
And so I sat down and just like figured it out. Like, okay, I'm going to go cut my clients when I leave here. Fast forward after that show, that September of that year, 2018, my sister passed.
Damn.
Yeah, she passed out of nowhere. And then a month and a half later, her best friend passed.
Shit. Wow.
So I was in a dark, like down place. Well, that January because I was here visiting, that January when I left to go back to LA, I said, man, I'm not coming back here without something. And it seemed like as soon as that 2019, I started getting hit up to come work on Snowfall, go over on Space Jam, go over here, do this. And
so dope, man.
and I was just getting hit up.
Yeah.
And then eventually, it was a show on Netflix called The Astronomy Club. I was the barber on that. And then right after that, I was driving to the barbershop and before I even get to that, hold that thought, okay?
Okay.
In 2015, it was a panel that I went to in Hollywood. And I never forget, it's called a hair symposium to talk to different people in the business about how to get there. And when I went to it, I never forget the guy that was there. He announced to everybody, said, excuse me. He said, you all could be anywhere that you want to be right now, but you're here this early in the morning because you want to do this. Mm-hmm. And there was 5 women up on the panel that were department heads of hair and makeup for the business. One lady, her name was Camille Friend. After she got done talking, I introduced myself to her and we were talking and we became cool. At that particular time, I had a podcast that maybe like 2 years later, I hit her up and said, hey, I got this podcast that I'm starting and I want to know if I can interview you. She was like, yeah, sure. Well, it was great timing because she had just department headed the Black Panther movie. Mm-hmm. She was the department head of hair for Black Panther. So I was able to interview her for my podcast and talk about the movie.
Okay.
The next day after I interviewed her, so she was like, yeah, come by the house. I went by the house. She had cheese and crackers and wine, and we sat there, and I'm basically recording the podcast. The next day, she hit me. She says, hey, I got a client that needs a haircut. How much you charge? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, $60. She was like, oh, I can get you more than that. She's like, I'll send the agent your information. So I was like, okay. She said, matter of fact, I'll do it, for 200. And, for 200, you can do it. I was like, okay. So the agent hits me up and says, hey, yeah, so you're going to cut the client, blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah. He's like, okay, here's the address. And you have to sign this NDA. I was like, okay.
Oh,
that's somebody.
Yeah, you have to sign this NDA. I was like, okay. So the next, they send me the address, and then when you get there, ask for Frank at the counter or whatever. So when I get there, this was like the next day, and go down like Beverly Hills somewhere at some hotel, and they were like, I said I went in, and I was like, I said, yeah, I'm here for Frank. They was like, oh, okay, follow me, and they took me to this side hallway, whatever, where the elevator, and the guy pressed a button, went up to the floor. He said, yeah, the room is so and so. So when I go to the room, keep in mind, it's like a movie, man. I'm going into the room, I'm walking the hallway, I'm hearing like the music playing in the hotel. I'm going to the door, and I hit the door, dun dun dun, and the door opens up, and it's Lupita, the actress Lupita.
Yeah. Oh shit.
It's her. She's like, oh hey. So I go in, and it's just me and her in her hotel room, and she's so short that she's sitting on pillows in the chair while I'm cutting the back of her head.
Yeah.
So I'm cutting the back of her head, then eventually her friend that's a costumer comes by. And anyway, so she was like, yeah, Skip, so go see the movie. Because it was for the Black Panther premiere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she was like, yeah, go see the movie when it comes out this weekend. I'm like, okay, yeah. Anyway, so I leave. The next day, Camille was like, yeah, Lupita, she loved, the hair, and you were great. I was like, cool. Keep in mind, this was in early 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, that fall 2019, I'm driving to the barbershop. This was after my sister passed, all that. Drive to the barbershop that morning. I get a text from Camille, friend. She texts me. She says, hey, Skip, are you available on these dates at these locations? And I'm texting her. I says, Camille, I said, is this union? She said, yes. I said, Camille, I'm still not union. I'm not.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm hiring you. I was like, what? Ended up, and what happened was, so that happened on the year anniversary of my sister passing.
Oh, wow.
And it ended up being this movie called Tenet, Christopher Nolan film called Tenet. And they had us in the desert for 3 weeks filming. Have you all seen Tenet?
Man,
never seen
the name sounds. I
definitely
am.
It's a Christopher Nolan film, and in the scene, this particular scene, that they were fighting backwards in the desert. We were out there for that. They took 3 weeks to film that scene.
Just that scene.
Just that scene, 3 weeks.
Wow.
But yeah, it's called Tenet, and so that was when I officially got in, because when I worked on that, then I ended up getting another job for a military show, and then that's when I got all my days to finally get into the union. And then the pandemic hit, and when the pandemic kind of lifted, then my first official gig as a barber in TV and film was a TV show called SEAL Team. And it was the 5th season of SEAL Team.
Ooh,
man,
I know that movie. I know that SEAL Team.
SEAL Team?
Yeah,
I was on the 5th season of that. I was on the 5th season.
Wow.